All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our usual death predictions video. We'll give our thoughts on who we think will be killed off in the second half of The Walking Dead Season 10, starting with who we think will kill Alpha. So I think that's pretty easy to say that by the end of this season, most likely Alpha will be dead, right? I mean, can we all pretty much agree on that? Also, we still have the comics to go by, and the way it went in the comics, as you've, as you guys have heard probably or seen if you read it yourselves, she is killed off in the comic book series by Negan. Now in the TV series version, there's a few different options here for how this whole thing could go out, but I will predict that yes, I think Alpha will be dead by the end of the season. Who is the one to do it? I mean, we'll have to. I guess we'll have to wait for the return to find out. Who are some of the people that are right in the vicinity? Well, there's still Negan, where in the comic book series it was simply Negan who killed Alpha, became a traitor to the Whisperers, and could be kind of cool in the TV series because then they could kind of make it as if like Carol sent him in or let him go or whatever, and sent him on a mission to bring back Alpha's head for her. And if this is the thing, if Negan is able to do that, he will be pretty much completely redeemed for the things he did before, because Alpha and the Whisperers right now are such a huge threat to everybody in all the communities. It's really looking like the Whisperers might wipe them all out almost entirely. And of course, Alpha, that's her command, would be to do that, right? So she decides to do that. So if Negan is able to take Alpha out, similarly with how he did in the comic book series, then it will redeem him pretty much to 100%. He may actually earn his freedom, and if he brings back her head, he won't even need to go back into a cell or anything. They will all exonerate him, I guess, right, from the things that he had done in the past before. It sort of makes up for him, doesn't it? So maybe that's one they actually won't change, because if they did, then if he returns, he's not going to be, he might have to go back into a cell again or something. So we'll see. So that's one possibility. The other is Carol, who's bloodthirsty for Alpha and has been, this entire time. But that's gotten them into trouble. Now they're in the cave and everything as a result of that. So it's kind of hard to see right now that maybe Carol will eventually get Alpha. It kind of feels like she probably won't, even though her best efforts just basically gets everybody into trouble, and so it's probably not going to happen. But another possibility there is Gamma, and I do like that one as well too, that maybe Gamma could be the one to be a traitor there for the Whisperers and could somehow attack Alpha and get vengeance on her for her sister and what happened with that and everything. So it's another possibility. There's also Michonne as well too, but then Michonne would have to return in time and maybe challenge Alpha or something like this. Maybe that's where the Lucille clip is from. Could it be possible we could see Michonne, Lucille, Alpha? Kind of, that one's more kind of loose for me. So I guess, very simply, I'll go with, if they stay with Negan, if they don't change this one, then at least Negan gets his freedom as a result of doing it for the joint survivors and gains everyone's favor. So maybe that's the reason why they possibly might have to keep it the same and have Negan be the one to kill Alpha and bring her head back to Carol as a present or something like this. But yes, I think Alpha will be killed off. It's just a question of who will do it. You guys can leave your comments below about that one first. Who do you think will kill Alpha off, or do you agree that Alpha will most likely be dead by the end of the season? I would think so. It'd be going too long if not. Then we have with the Whisperers, Negan as well, and there was a little bit of speculation for him because he's got some other projects and stuff he's working on, JDM. But I mean, you really don't want to lose JDM for Walking Dead right now, especially after Andrew Lincoln leaving and everything. You really don't want to do that. So I'm going to say, yeah, Negan's going to survive. You guys know me, a huge Negan fan, want to see Negan survive. So I think he'll survive out this Whisperer storyline for sure. Then we have Gamma as well too, Thora Birch's character. So for her, she's really good actually, I think. And, we could see her be totally kind of redeemed if she continues to help the survivors and everything, and she's kind of an inside person for them in the camp of the Whisperers. So So I guess for now I'll predict that I think Gamma will survive, but it also makes sense maybe that Thora Birch just came in for one season because she wanted to be in Walking Dead. Maybe she was a fan of the show, and so she decided she wanted to do it because obviously she can go get other roles if she wants to and everything. She's had lots of roles over time. She's a great actress and everything. So we'll see for that. But for now I'll say maybe Gamma will survive. I'm kind of liking Gamma right now after she sort of has switched sides for us for the survivors. Then we have Beta. So will Beta survive out the season, or will he be killed off at the end of the season? I'll go with the surviving for this one. Again, similar to the comics in this way, but I do think Beta could be used more in the future, and he's always a force to be reckoned with, even if he doesn't have too many Whispers with him. He's very dangerous, and he could be a lot of fun to use in season 11, even still, just a little bit, right? Like similar with the comics for that one. So I'll go with that one. I think Beta will survive out the season. I don't think he will be killed off by the end of The Walking Dead season 10. No. Going over to our hero side, why don't we start off with Michonne? So Michonne's leave, it's coming up soon. Apparently it's this upcoming quarter, so she might have like 3 or 4 episodes left, something like that. But we don't have long. We don't have much time left with Michonne, and then she's done for good. We'll never see her in the Walking Dead TV series again, most likely, which is also sad as well too, because a lot of us are big time Michonne fans. Will she survive her leave? So this one is really tricky because how could a mother leave behind RJ and Judith? How could she ever not return unless she can't, right? So unless she's in a situation where she absolutely cannot return, or maybe she catches a wind of a possibility that Rick could be alive, and so she has to go off on some kind of journey and find out for sure, and then we see her in the movies. This is why I think she'll probably will survive. They're doing 3 movies. If they were just doing 1 movie, I'd probably predict that I think that Michonne would be killed off. But because they're doing 3 movies, they need as many characters as they can get. That's a whole trilogy. So, if she doesn't show up in the first movie, she shows up in the second or something like this. It makes a lot of sense. And, would you kill her off in the regular series when you have a whole trilogy of stuff being planned out and being set up here? So I say no. I think even though, a mother leaving her kids behind, very unlikely, but still, you have those 3, so I'm going to go with it based on because there's a trilogy, so they're going to need characters. I think we will see Michonne in the movies. So I'm predicting she'll survive for this back half. Daryl and Carol, that's so easy. Of course, they're not going to kill off either of them ever. Probably. They've even started talking about going to New Mexico together and that whole thing. So my prediction would be that by the time season 12 rolls around, when their contracts are over, they're going to ride off into the sunset on Daryl's, motorcycle that somehow still has gas, and go to New Mexico or go on a nice long vacation, and we won't see them again, except for maybe possibly at the very end of the series or something like that. So something like that. I think they'll survive out the entire Walking Dead. I think Daryl and Carol will survive out the entire series until the very end, and then some. They'll be alive in the last episode, and it'll be a happy ending for them. But they'll probably have to leave if the series continues on past season 12. So heads up for that, but definitely you're not just going to kill them off like normal characters. They're not just normal characters, right? Not even close. Judith and RJ, based on their age, no, they're both safe. Aaron is a no way for me, and I would also say he's the most important character in The Walking Dead right now for the rest of the series. And you can argue that one with me. You can say, well, no, Daryl and Carol are more important, or Maggie, or whatever. But I would say Aaron is most important because he's one that he's kind of like your Rick 2.0, and he's one that if the series does go on past season 12's end in a couple years here, he would be one that I would expect that would still be in the show and could be your point of view character. So he could become extremely important in the future. So I'm just going to put it as a no way. I would be absolutely shocked if they killed Aaron off. I don't want to see it, and I hope he is there because they're probably going to need him, especially with others' contracts ending and such. Ross Marquand could be really good. So I hope he pretty much never dies, or if he does, maybe it's right near the end of the series, and maybe that's okay then, close to the end, Ezekiel. So we did find out that Ezekiel is very sick, and he doesn't look good at all. His condition looks like he's already sentenced to death. His condition looks like there's no way he's going to be able to do anything about that. And then even Sadiq was going to look into it and see if there's something he could do. And even Sadiq is dead now. So I guess for Ezekiel, it pretty much confirms. I wish there was a way he could survive because Ezekiel's one of my favorite characters still in The Walking Dead. He's so positive and everything. Just love to see him and think he's a lot of fun and everything. But unfortunately, just based on what we've seen and his growth and throat and everything. I mean, how is it possible he could survive that? I just don't think so. So I'll say that I do think Ezekiel will be killed off soon. It might not be this back half of the season, but it looks like he's kind of in dire straits. It looks like he's kind of in really bad shape. So I would sort of expect him to be killed off maybe by the end of the season as part of the Whisper War here as things go out. Probably be dead by season 11, but if he's still alive in season 11, maybe first half season 11, and then his time will be up, which is very sad because he's a very fun character. Then we have Jerry that goes along with him, his trusty sidekick, right? So a lot of us think Jerry will be killed off in the cave escape sequence, which will probably come up in the next couple episodes. I'm going to stick with that one. I'm not changing that one, even though people say, well, it might be too obvious, Travis. It's like, yeah, it might be too obvious, but sometimes they just let stuff slip like that, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, I think Jerry will be killed off in the next couple of episodes. Really sad, man. That one. Lydia, for Lydia, I'm just going to say no. I don't think she'll be killed off. Why? What's the point? It wouldn't really. I don't think it'd really do anything for the show. I don't think it'd really do anything for the viewers if you did kill Lydia off. Why would you? You're not going to get much of a reaction out of it from her, unless she dies with Alpha or something. Maybe that could be. I don't know. Maybe there could be something to that. But I'm just going to say no for Lydia. I think Lydia will survive on further. I mean, why not? What would it really do to kill her off? It wouldn't do much. Gabriel. Okay, so that's a tricky one. If you've read the comics, you kind of know, around this time. I guess for now, I'm going to say a no. I think that Gabriel will survive. I think there's enough other stuff going on here that you don't need to kill Gabriel off. And we did see some cool stuff with him in the mid-season finale in that, so I think he'll survive. Rosita, I also think will survive. I know she's playing Selena coming up pretty soon, but I still think she'll live. I think she'll survive. Eugene is also a survive. I think he'll survive to the very end of the series if Josh wants to. So we'll see. But and I think he will. And I think he'll be good right up until the end. Alden is also going to be a no. I don't think they'll kill Alden off because he's possibly a love interest for Maggie maybe later on when she returns, which actually be by the end of this year. So unfortunately, we're going to lose Michonne, but we're going to regain Maggie back, which I think is really good because you need some of those older characters that are still around. And so she's one of them that we're going to see return. Then there's Magna's crew. So basically for all of them, I'm going to say pretty much no, except for Kelly and Luke. I think Kelly and Luke will probably be the first two out of that group to be killed off. And so I do think we'll see maybe one of the two in this season, and then maybe another one next season. One of the two, maybe Luke, or we'll see. It could be maybe Kelly next year. And then there's Diane, I guess. So she's somewhere in there too, right? She's still alive. No reason to kill her off. It wouldn't get you much emotional reaction or anything like that. So I'll just say a no for her. And then Virgil, our new character, I'm going to say a no for him too. He might betray Michonne. We'll have to see about that. But I think he'll survive at least for the first little while. I don't really see any reason to kill him off either right away. But we'll have to see what happens with Michonne's leave. So that's pretty much it for the important characters, I'd say, right now for the Walking Dead television series going into the second half of the season. If I left any out, feel free to leave a comment below, and we can discuss in comments below. Who do you guys think will be killed off this season? Do you think there'll be any big shockers in the second half of season 10? And just let me know what you guys think. That's it for this Death Predictions video, and I'll see you guys again soon for another Walking Dead video. If you liked it, thumb it up below, share, favorite, and subscribe at the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.